Welcome to Your Wedding Amplified with DJ Kyle Sertner, where we talk all things weddings, giving you an insider's perspective, tips and tricks, and a path on having a successful wedding. I've been in the wedding industry for over 5 years now and done over 250 events in that time. Today's topic, very near and dear to my heart and very important as it is the first step in your journey. What to look for when booking a DJ. Now, there are many videos out on the internet telling you here's good, here's bad, but today I want to show you some secret ways that you can find a DJ that'll fulfill your vision and understand who you're booking well before talking. So, first and foremost is equipment. Kind of an odd place to start for most people, but it is the easiest way to know who you're dealing with almost immediately. Now, I'm not talking about what type of equipment they have, brand names, technical stuff like that. No. I'm talking about what is their aesthetic. How does it look set up? So that DJ will have a picture of it on their social medias, on their website, somewhere. A picture of it in space in a wedding venue. And how does that look? Is it this big, black, bulky mess with cables everywhere, nothing covered? Is it this very sleek, all-white setup? Do they have a facade? Do they have furniture? Because almost immediately that'll tell you if you're dealing with someone who's lower cost, higher cost, or this kind of quality too. Because if this big black monstrosity and it's all really beat up, well, they may have had that stuff for a while, but they did not maintain their equipment well. Could be prone to breakage. As opposed to someone who has a really sleek setup, no matter the color of it, just does it blend? Does it look good? Is it an eyesore? Because what is the most heavily photographed thing at a wedding? The couple and then the DJ's equipment. Because that equipment is visible from nearly every angle of the wedding space. So it's in the background of nearly every single shot. Now, a lot of photographers, they will shoot around that equipment, and that means you're missing a lot of really, really good shots that they could have, because it could be a really intimate close-up photo of you guys kissing during your first dance, looking at each other, and then in the background is this ugly black big ol' speaker just kind of ruining the aesthetic of the event. So that can tell you almost immediately, hey, is that something I want to look at? Because it's going to be in all your photos. So make sure you look at how this can really enhance your wedding and not detract from your wedding. My second area is their creativity. Because weddings now are all about having an experience. So listening to that DJ, how do they mix? Are they someone that just plays a song, it goes, and it ends? Or are they someone that song comes in, it's going for a little bit, and the next song comes in over top of it, they're creating something new, and then we're into the next song. We're constantly evolving and changing as the night goes on to create a good atmosphere. That requires reading a crowd, that requires creativity, but then that also requires understanding the couple's vision and being authentic to them. Because I've run into situations where I have couples that they have very niche music genres that they like, and I'm up for those genres. I'll play everything a couple once, no problem. So will most DJs. But that doesn't necessarily mean the guests will enjoy that too. So it becomes a balancing act of how do you make it to where you have this very niche, very different type of music palatable for people who may have never heard it, people that listen to more just kind of normalized music. And that's on the DJ creating it, telling a story with the music, creating an atmosphere to where people are okay with doing that. I do that a lot in my weddings where we'll start out with, a little bit older music, a little bit more classic wedding kind of music, because a lot of people know that. And especially the older people at the wedding, they want to be heard. They want to be seen. Your grandparents and your parents' friends, they want to dance too. And they may not be into the more current stuff or different types of music, but they like the stuff they've liked. You've heard it too, so it's kind of a win-win. But then you can take that music and maybe you do a remix. Maybe you add something to it that now creates a different environment. So we go from this classic 70s disco tune to where now it's a house remix of that tune. Or it's introducing, whatever that special genre is. So people are becoming, okay, well, this isn't that bad. I can listen to this. So as the night progresses, we can start doing that more and more and more and create this amazing story that only begins if the DJ is able to do that. So you can find stuff on their website. Mixcloud is a great tool that DJs use. It lets them post actual 30, 40 minute long mixes for you. And then, of course, their social medias. They should have samples of stuff going on. Number 3 is a big one because it can save you time. This is a huge headache for most people. And that is the planning process. What is the DJ's process? I use a wedding app called Vibo. So it's an all-in-one DJ planning app. It lets my couples have a timeline right then and there. They can edit stuff, move things around, put songs in spaces, so it's not a question of what the song goes to. They can give me notes about songs. They can give me specific types of songs. They can import their Spotify playlists. And it's available to them 24/7. Because for most people, especially early on in the process, they're not sitting down and being like, okay, what is this dance song going to be? What is dinner music? What is dancing music? It is, they're out and about. They are going on a date. They are shopping. And then out of nowhere, on the radio, speaker somewhere, a song comes on. And they're like, that's it. That's the song I've been thinking of. And instead of having to write it down in a note or worry about forgetting it, my couples just go, that's it. Phone, do. They put it in, done. It's there, it's locked in. I'm able to say all the updates live. So as we get closer to our planning meeting, I'm able to review everything to where our planning meetings last 30 minutes tops. Because for the most time, I know exactly what my couple wants. As soon as I open that up, I see, here's the order of events. Here's the music for these events. Here's all the questions I had for those events and things I need to know for my process. And for them, it takes away all the scares. It takes away all the fears about, am I forgetting anything? What does he need to know? What are things that are going to come up for it? Because it's all right there, set out for them. It's easy. So that's one way. Other people, they have Google Sheets. They have forms that you fill out where you just type it in. And it answers similar type stuff, but everyone has a different process. So ask about, is that process going to be time consuming on my end? Is it going to be something that's easy for me, difficult for me, something that we have to have multiple meetings in order to accomplish, or something that, because of the way it's set up, it's only one meeting needed? Next one is a huge one. It's the MC skills. Can your DJ talk behind a microphone? But more than that, what is their style and where do they talk on the microphone? Because I know a lot of DJs that they just stand behind their facade, like behind their DJ table, and that's where all the announcements come from. You lose a lot of, not performance, but you lose a lot of kind of taking the reins and making this an event to remember if all you're hearing is a voice from nowhere telling you, it's time for the couple to enter. Please help me in welcoming Sarah and Josh. As opposed to someone who gets out in the middle of the dance floor and goes, good evening, everyone. Welcome. And really becomes a host and an MC for the event. Because that's what you're hiring. When you hire a DJ, they are your host. They are telling all the guests what to do, when to do it, keeping everyone informed and keeping stuff running smoothly. The planner is telling people, this is when we're happening, this is stuff that's going to go on, here's the order of events. But then the DJ is the one making that stuff happen. Another area of MC is what type of style do they MC? I'm pretty versatile, but certain DJs aren't. Certain DJs, they have a brand, they have an identity, and that is how they do everything all the time. A lot of my couples, they're very energetic. They want this big thing because it's their wedding. They're super excited. So we can do that. I kind of flip more into an announcer voice of, ladies and gentlemen, if you can please stand up and help me in welcoming for the very first time. You know, something very much more akin to kind of an NBA announcement, WWE kind of entrance style. Or I have couples that they're super low key, and their entire day they just want people to have fun. It's a real low key event, you know. So I'm not gonna go in there, please stand up. No, I'm gonna go in there, being much more kind of like how I'm talking to you right now. No. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sarah and Josh's wedding. We have an amazing day ahead of us, and stuff kind of like that. It is super important that their MC skills and style reflect your wedding. It reflects the way you want your wedding to be, because it's got to be authentically you. It's got to be the way your day is visioned, and that's what the DJ is there to deliver. My next point, a slightly weirder point, but a good thing to note, and not really an issue anymore. It's attire. So what is the DJ wearing when the event is going on? Because most DJs, they'll show up in, you know, just kind of normal clothes because we got to load in equipment, stuff's heavy, we get sweaty, you know, that's perfectly fine. But when the event is happening, you know, what are they wearing? Are they in t-shirts and jeans? Are they in like a polo and slacks, like a lot of companies do? Are they business casual? Are they formal? I have a rule, I want to match the groom. So I try to coordinate colors when I can. Then, for the first time in my career, I did not wear a suit at a wedding recently, which was like crazy to me. But that was the wedding. That was the aesthetic. It was a country wedding. We were out in this really nice refurbished barn and matched the groom. Groom was in his nice cowboy boots, good jeans, very nice shirt for it. So I matched the groom completely. I want to make sure the aesthetic matches too. Bonus stuff to ask is important for you to know if you're dealing with someone professional versus not professional. Is their arrival time? How early do they show up to an event? Are they there 30 minutes beforehand? Are they there 3 hours beforehand? Myself, I'm 3 hours minimum. Because it's not that it takes me 3 hours to set up. No, my setup's only maybe about an hour, if that. But what it does, it lets me have time. So I can set up, review all the info I have in my Vibo app, talk to the planner, say hi to my bride and groom so there's any last minute changes, because stuff comes up, stuff happens. And I want to be able to fulfill those changes. Also, I got to meet my other vendors. I got to see who is the bride team today. Who are the people I'm going to work with to make this happen? And then I myself, I get to warm up, I get to change, I get to just kind of relax and give myself time to prep for the show. And the arrival time actually kind of comes up with this last point I had, which was backup plans. So do they have backup plans for any sort of emergency, whether it be medical, family, car broke down, anything? I, as a single person, I have backup plans. I have a couple DJs I know I can punt to in case anything ever happens. I have plenty of people in the industry I've made connections with, friends with, that they can help me at a moment's notice if that's needed. You know, if you're with a bigger company, not as big of a problem because they are, 20 DJs deep. Probably not all 20 of them are working that evening, so you probably have someone. Be safe. But with the backup plans and arrival time, if I get a flat tire on my way there, well, I know it only takes me an hour to set up, and I have a 3-hour period. So we're not stressed. We know we have enough time to set everything up. I'm just going to be a little bit more rushed on my end when it comes to my process, but that's fine. I've done that plenty of times. It happens. I hope these have been pretty helpful insights to you, getting different ways to think about how to find a DJ, what to look at, and questions to ask. Thank you so much for joining me for Your Wedding Amplified, and I'll see you next time.